Here I have my movie, which is created. It's just a simple fade in, fade out effect plus text added at the top right corner. What I want to do now is render out an AVI or a QuickTime movie from this. Now if I look here at my timeline, my whole animation is around 8 seconds because that's the end of my composition up here. Of course, I can drag it over to give it more time or shorten that down. It's up to me really. Let's say that we're sticking to 8 seconds. So I need to actually render this out. So while I am in the composition, which happens to be called my second movie, I'm going to go to composition and make movie. That's how I start recording my or rendering out my movie. So composition, make movie. And after that, we get the render queue. Now sometimes you get the render queue added down here, right? And you can't really see all the options. What you can do in After Effects CS3 is just take this and drag it anywhere you like. For example, up here. All right, I can still not see all the options. Some of them are hidden for me. What I can do, however, let's bring it down here. What I can do, however, is actually, while I am in the render queue, click on the tilde key on my keyboard. The tilde key on your keyboard is the one above the tab. When you do that, whichever view you are in will actually be maximized. So if you are in the project window and hit tilde, it's going to be maximized. If you go to the timeline and hit tilde, it's going to be maximized and so forth. So here I'm going to actually reset, all right, and go back to my render queue. And I'm going to place it here and hit my tilde key to maximize this. So I put this in the render queue twice. I can remove the first one, press delete, and that's what I'm going to be rendering now, my second movie. So I repeat, in order to see all the options, you hit the tilde key on your keyboard wherever you are. So here I am in the render queue. If I go to composition and hit the tilde key, that will be maximized. You can zoom in and out by hitting the control plus minus or rolling your mouse wheel. But otherwise, that's where I am now, and this is where I need to work in order to render my movie. I did that by going to composition, make movie, and I get the render queue, and I hit the tilde key to maximize this. All right, now, okay, so now that's the name of the AVI that will be rendered. It's called my second movie 1.avi because the composition happens to be called my second movie. I can change that by clicking on output 2. I'm going to put that for now on the desktop just to be able to find it easy. And I can change the name if I like, but I'm going to actually keep it my second movie _1. And I'll hit save. You see that the save as type is video for Windows. That's what you're going to have by default. So just save. And here I need to actually work on the settings of my rendered AVI. So the render settings should be set to best settings. That's there by default, so you don't really change that because you want to keep the highest quality possible. You can change it if you like, but that's not recommended. We're going to keep it set to best settings. Now here, that's important, the output module. It's set to lossless, meaning that it will not lose quality whatsoever. It's good, but that would make it a bit hard to play on a regular machine. So we need to actually compress it a bit so that it can be played on a computer machine without being chunky when it plays. So we go to output module and we click on this little drop down arrow down here and we choose custom. So we get this window. You see, that's our format, video for Windows. Later on, we're going to be choosing QuickTime, movie, but for now, video for Windows. And the important thing here is the format options. That's set to no compression. When it's set to no compression, it will give me a high quality, but it will play in a chunky manner. It will be a bit jaggy when it plays. It won't play smoothly because it's full resolution. So what we need to do is compress this a little bit. While we keep the high quality, it will, however, play smoothly. And that's by clicking on Format Options. And here we choose a compressor. All right. We have several ones we can choose from. Now these depend on whatever you have installed on your machine. All right. Something that's installed on every machine is Cinepak codec by radius. We're going to choose this for now. And the quality, we're going to set it to 100%. So I'll press OK. I repeat that this is installed on every machine, so everybody can view this video now, because everybody has this. If I choose something specific to my machine, for example, this, the TechSmith screen capture codec, other people that don't have this compressor installed, they won't be able to see the video. That's why I choose something universal that everybody has, and that's cinepak codec by radius. It's not the best, but everybody has it. So I'll press OK, and these are the settings now. The important thing is to have a compressor and not leave it set to no compression. No compression means that the quality is the best, but it will not play smoothly on your computer. So I'll press OK, and now I'm ready to start rendering. And that's the render button here, so I'll press it. And now, After Effects is rendering out my movie to produce the final AVI, which is going to be called my second movie _1, and placed wherever I saved it, which happens to be the desktop in my case. So it's going to take a few seconds to render. Here you can see the estimated time remaining. It's around 1 minute, and that's how much time elapsed so far, 30 seconds, for example. And that's how much time has been rendered out of your final movie. It's around 8 seconds. So far it has rendered around 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and so forth. When the rendering is done, you're going to hear a little sound telling you that the rendering is finished. That's it. So now the rendering is done. So I can go to my desktop, and the movie is called my second movie _1. That's it. And it will open with the Windows Media Player. So let's try this now. And that's it. You notice that we don't have any audio because I didn't specify that we need to render with audio. Actually, I forgot to specify this. But that's how you would actually render your movie. So I'm going to delete this, and I'll show you where to actually specify that you need to render out the audio. So back to After Effects. I'm going to delete this from the render queue. I'll go back to my composition and choose Composition, Make Movie. So I get back to a new one. I'll keep the same name. I'll also put it on the desktop. I'll also go down and choose Custom. I'll also choose, let's choose something other than Cinepak. Let's try Microsoft DV. And here actually is where you specify that you need audio. Now this is available in case your video does contain audio. If it doesn't contain audio, nothing will be available here. But since I do have audio in my movie, I can actually check that. We'll talk about these settings a bit later. For now, I'll accept them. And I'll press OK and render out. It's going to render a bit quicker because it already calculated the rendering a bit before. And I didn't change anything. If I did change something in my animation, it would take a bit longer. But so far, that's good. All right, so it's done. And back here. All right, so now I see the audio. I actually hear the audio. And the quality is better, but it's playing a bit chunkier. It's not playing in real time. It's probably because I'm recording this right now, but the quality is better than the cinepak codec by radius. But let's stick to cinepak because it plays a bit smoother. Alright, so this is how I render out an AVI. As I told you, QuickTime is the preferred format. And to actually render a QuickTime, I do the exact same thing. So I go to Composition, Make Movie, and here I keep the same thing. It's on the desktop. And I go here and choose Custom. But instead of choosing Video for Windows, I choose QuickTime Movie. And for the format options, which is what I specified a bit earlier, I choose Sorenson Video 3. That will give you a good quality for the compression, and the file size would be also small. So let's output the audio and press OK. So it's going to be called my second movie one.mov this time and not .avi, because MOV is the QuickTime format. I'll render it out. And when finished, again, I would go to my desktop and check out the rendered QuickTime movie. Okay, so the rendering is done. Go to the desktop, and that's the QuickTime movie. It has this Q icon telling you that it's a QuickTime movie. I'll double click to run it, of course. It wouldn't open in the Windows Media Player. It will open in the QuickTime player. And there it is. And you see that it's a very smooth playback with a very good quality. So that's really the preferred way of generating your movies with QuickTime, because of the smooth playback and the high quality that you get with it.